All right, Milan, welcome to Podcastina.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Congrats on your Netflix debut.
Hey, thanks. It's on YouTube.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. Are they putting it on Netflix?
No, it's just going to be on YouTube.
Well,
Netflix is on YouTube now, everybody.
oh,
Yeah.
well, I mean, listen, more people are watching that anyway, right?
I don't know, actually. They never publish the numbers of like their TV shows like on Netflix, right? So you never know if you like see a show on Netflix and you're like, who watches this? Does anybody watch this? And you just assume that it's very popular because it's on the platform. So, I don't know.
That's such a power move on their part to be like, nah,
We're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when things were in the back in the day and like it's still when things are on TV, there's like ratings, right? And I guess there's internally, they must know, obviously, but they're just like, no, everything's equally popular. It's all equally good. But yeah, this is on YouTube if people want to watch it.
Were you nervous to record it?
Yeah, I was nervous. Yeah, we did 2 shows, and then the first show I couldn't talk, like my mouth got dry, and I started like you can't tell in the like you probably couldn't tell in the video, but I just started like stuttering a little bit, like my mouth like I got like lockjaw. Even though I've done stand up like 100 times.
Yeah, but it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's like it's nerve-wracking. Like it's doing public speaking when it's stuff you're not even used to is tough, like doing a wedding speech or like karaoke is very hard for me, like singing. I'll get very nervous. Yeah. I do enjoy it once I get into it, but if I haven't done karaoke in a very long time and it's the first time, I'll definitely like my voice will get shaky or whatever.
Do you have a go-to karaoke song?
Twist and Shout by the Beatles.
Nice.
Yeah.
Classic.
It's short too. It's like 2.5 minutes, so people like the song anyway, but even if they don't, it's like the worst with karaoke is when you pick a song that has a long like interlude or like guitar breakdown or something.
And then you're standing there awkward.
Yeah, or it has like more verses than you thought it had or something, or it does the chorus too many times. So it's a good. Do you have one?
I try to pick ones that aren't vocally demanding because I know I don't really have range, or I've been told I'm an average singer by a vocal coach that I went to because my insecurity was so deep that I was like, I need to hire a vocal coach to tell me if I'm tone deaf.
For karaoke?
For karaoke, for just singing in front of people. It's childhood trauma, really. I mean, this is so dramatic. This is little T trauma, but when I was in like 3rd grade, a friend and I were out on her porch and we were just singing, being silly, and a mailman came up on the porch and was like, you two should stick to your day jobs.
Oh.
And it like
mean.
cut so deep, that it made me insecure about singing for my entire life.
Yeah. It's funny when adults do that, like you have these memories of adults like being mean to you, or like they're joking but they don't understand that it's like a traumatizing thing that they're saying to you. You're at a pool party and you're eating and there's like, well, you had enough food, and you're like, oh god, okay, well I have an eating disorder for the next like 10 years.
It makes me nervous talking to children because I'm like, I better be careful with everything I say because who knows, like the things that I remember are so random, and I'm sure that adult didn't register that they were saying something that heavy to me.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And maybe it's connected to other stuff that like maybe it's just not that one person, but that's the only thing you remember, and so then you blame that guy for the rest of your life, like you ruined. but there was like you like trapped a memory of like your parents telling you you're bad at singing.
Yeah.
But you don't want to think about that.
Yeah, totally. But to answer your question, it sucks because if I do karaoke, I try to rope a group to do it with me so I don't have to be alone, or if I must do it alone, I'll do a No Doubt song because I think I can hit the registers that Gwen Stefani can hit. Like her voice is pretty low and my singing voice is kind of lower.
Yeah, I get that.
But I wish I could do Smells Like Teen Spirit because I feel like that song gets everybody so amped.
That's a good one. I did at karaoke. I did do a Nirvana song, and it was harder than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Like I thought I could like I think I could do the raspy voice or something. And if you haven't practiced it before, then you think you can do it, but you actually can't, and it's embarrassing in the moment.
Were you an artsy child?
No, not really. I mean, I like drew a little bit. Like I like drawing and stuff like that, but I didn't do like musicals or like theater or anything like that. I don't know if I was interested in it or if I just didn't know if it was like available when I was really young. But I like drawing and like painting and stuff like that. So I enjoyed it, but I also wasn't that good at it. Like I never like made anything that an adult was like, wow, that's really good. Well, that's actually very impressive for your age. Um, what about you?
A little bit. Like I was a drama kid. I would take like drama classes and do plays, but I was never front and center. I was never cast as like the lead in anything.
Yeah. You know, I did like writing. Like once I was in high school, I was interested in just because you have to read so many books. Like you forget as an adult how much you have to read in college and high school and like middle school. I don't read it a lot as an adult. I read way less than I should, but you're forced to read books all the time when you're in school. And so I think because of that, I probably was inspired to write a little bit more, and then I enjoyed doing stuff like that.
Is that how the shifts into stand up happened for you?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe just because I liked, but I wasn't writing funny stuff. I was just writing, like, I watched Sin City, and then I maybe read the comic books, and I was like, I'm going to write a short story that's, like, gritty and dark. I'm like 16. I never experienced anything in my life, but.
I always get curious where people get the bug from.
Yeah. Well, I like TV. I mean, I like TV. Like, I like sitcoms and stuff. So I think maybe that made me interested in writing as well. Like, oh, and also like, it's fun in high school. I don't know about you, but we randomly would just get video projects. Where you're like our teachers, even if it was like science class, they would be like, okay, you can do you can do a written report, or you can do in-person presentation on the cell, or you can, for some reason they're like, you can make a video.
That's so much cooler.
Yeah, you can like rent out a video camera from like the AV department or whatever, and you can make a video. And so like anytime like me and my friends had an opportunity to do that, then we would do it. So that's probably where it came from too.
When'd you start?
Start doing what? Like
stand up?
Stand up? I did like a performance when I was in high school. So I was like 17, 18, and then I didn't do it for like 3 years, but then I started doing it in college when I was 20, when I was in Seattle. There was like this open mic that was in a coffee shop, so you didn't have to be 21. I didn't have a fake ID, so I could only go to places. I could only perform in places that didn't require an ID. And so I would go there like every week, and then I started hosting the mic over there. But yeah.
You're very funny.
Hey, thanks.
I remember I first kind of not caught wind of you, because that's a weird way to say it, but like got to know you and your comedy at that mic that you used to run.
We were just doing mics together, right? We did mics kind of frequently for a while.
Mm-hmm. You had that really good bookstore mic / show.
Oh yeah, Sideshow Books. That's a cool spot. I don't know if it's still around, but yeah. Yeah.
It was fun, but it was like a fire hazard.
Yeah, that guy that owns it is really sweet, and if it's a business that's still going, people should go visit it and like check it out. But there's so much stuff there. There's like too much stuff, which is why we had to stop doing the show, because like like possums we would do the show inside eventually, because he had a really cool back patio, but eventually we would have to do it inside because there's too much crap back there. And then like little like baby possums would come in, which they're cute, but like I can't like run a show where there's like rats and like vermin crawling around. and we had to explain that to him, and he's like, "They're just baby possums," and he's like, "I know, they're cute, but like there just can't be like rats and stuff around."
I wondered what happened to it. I didn't know that was the story.
Yeah, he's like the nicest guy ever. Like he has such a cool store, but there's just that was the one issue was vermin.
Pretty big issue.
Yeah, it's kind of a big issue.
There's not a lot of, or at least maybe I just don't see them, or maybe I've been fortunate with the places that I've lived, but I very rarely see rats or mice in LA.
Yeah, I've never had a mouse in my apartment. I lived in the same place for like 7 years now, and I've never had a mouse or a rat here. Even like growing up, I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. Like once in a while, like once every few years, like I would see like a mouse in our house. But yeah, not here. We're blessed with no rats.
It's true. I saw one. It was maybe the first time I had seen one in LA, so it was like a really jarring incident, and it was just because they had torn down the House of Blues across from the Comedy Store. This was like in that era where it was still a vacant lot and they were about to build the hotel that's there now. But I was on the patio of the store and there was a giant rat, and I didn't know they could do this, but it was crawling vertically up the bar wall.
Oh, it's frightening, scary.
Yeah, and everybody was losing their shit, and people were jumping up, on the bar stools and the tables. And this guy that used to work there, Mike Schmidt, he was like one of the door guys back then. He was trying to knock it into like an empty beer box with a broom, and he knocked it down, but it was too fast. And everyone on the patio just watched this thing navigate like 6 lanes of traffic across Sunset and make it all the way across and like disappear into the lot.
Wow. Well, he deserves to he deserves to live. I mean, he made it out. Yeah, so he was trying to like get into a box to do what?
I don't know, I guess to remove it way.
Okay, to like put it in the box. Yeah. They can climb vertically. They live in palm trees actually. So they make their nests, I've heard, in the tops of palm trees, which
that's disturbing.
Yeah, isn't that scary to think, like, when you say like, oh, what a beautiful row of palm trees? It's like these are just rat houses.
I don't like
just
that.
Rows of houses, just like millions of rats. That's why we don't have rat issues like down on the ground. Maybe is because they're all up there.
Okay, I kind of wish I didn't know that. I kind of regret hearing that.
I bet somebody's like had a rat like fall on them from a tree like down onto the ground.
That's the fear.
Because the leaves fall, right? So there must be like a rat that's like on one. Why are we talking about rats? There is a reason, but I forgot.
Because your show got canceled, I guess, because of vermin.
Yeah. But yeah, we met like doing that and other mics and stuff. I forget what other stuff we were doing back then. I guess it doesn't matter, but
I miss the pre-pandemic scene.
Yeah. There's like a lot of stuff going on, a lot of weird like places that you would end up going to do comedy. Like it's kind of fun. I mean, you can view it as a little depressing because the mics were depressing, but it's fun in the sense that it forces you to go to places in the city and like neighborhoods that you wouldn't otherwise go to, and you end up in spots that either don't exist anymore or like they're like kind of historic places that like nobody goes to or you know what I mean? Like they're rarely visited.
Sometimes I think the final step of a business before they lock their doors forever is to allow comedy there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. I know because like I've like ran mics at multiple places that closed like immediately after like they allowed me to do a mic there. It's literally like there's like a 9-month gap like between you're like, yeah, you can do your open mic here, and oh, we're actually closing permanently. We have new ownership or whatever.
It's like their last resort to see if they can drum up business.
Yeah, because if they were doing well, they would have karaoke. They would have other things that people enjoy doing. But that's okay. That's fine.
I'm surprised you don't read a lot, but I'm judging you, I guess, on the glasses.
Yeah, I know.
You seem like you would read.
I'm really bad at reading. I'm a really slow reader. I'm like listening to Lord of the Rings on audiobook right now because
that counts.
Yeah, it counts, but it's like I also I'm doing that because I'm such a slow reader that if I wasn't doing that, I wouldn't get past the introduction, honestly. So I'm hoping that if I finish this on audiobook, then it'll make me maybe I'll try the second book, like actually reading it. The last big book I read was Dune, but that was like it's like 2 years ago. So I haven't really read anything since then.
But those are both really, you just mentioned 2 very dense books.
They're dense. That's my problem though with I do it with video games too, like video games and books. I'm so bad at both. Like I'm just terrible. It takes me forever to like beat a video game or to finish a book. But when I do choose one, I end up choosing the hardest thing, like hardest game to play, or I end up choosing like a very dense book to read. I don't know why I do that. And then it scares me off from ever reading anything else, you know?
Of course, yeah. What video game? I don't know anything about video games, but like, what am I missing?
There's a game called Cuphead. So if anybody knows what that game is, it's a very difficult like side scroller arcade style game. And I still haven't beat it, but I have put like tons of hours into it. Even though I'm terrible at video games. But just stuff like that, like I'll.
Is it a social video game? Is it one of those where people talk?
No, it is not a social game. It's like it's like when we were younger and you would like go to an arcade and you would have to like play a game where you're like side scrolling, you know what I mean? Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something like that. It's kind of like a throwbacky kind of video game. Do you read?
I do read, yeah. I read. I try to keep my like fun nonfiction or fiction and novels and stuff like that to reading, and then I keep my self-help kind of self-mastery content to audiobook. So I'll do, like a learning book on audio at the same time as I'm reading some novel.
Wait, literally at the same time? Or
no,
just like
no,
okay.
just interchangeably. I'm not that smart.
That would be very funny. You're like listening to opera, like and an audiobook and reading. I'm like, wow, Galina's a genius. Eating carrots.
If you guys want to think I do that, then I do that.
Yeah, on a treadmill, just mastering your mind and your body all at once.
Are you into? Oh, sorry.
What self-help books are you interested in right now?
I'm reticent to even call them self-help because that sounds.
They're like
denigrating, I guess.
Nonfiction, just stuff that's
they're mostly behavioral science books.
Oh, okay.
So I'm always trying to figure out the best way to do something behaviorally, or I'm trying to understand. So right now, and I'm listening to like a few right now, I've gotten really into re-listening to books. So I just finished a second read of Never Split the Difference, which is like a negotiating book written by an FBI negotiator. That one was pretty good. I needed to reread.
And is there a way to apply that to your daily life?
Yes, absolutely. So it's helpful with any kind of, if you're having to negotiate a contract or a price or you're in a disagreement, it gives a lot of effective tools to use if someone's like not completing their end of a bargain, and it just gives you ways to ask for something so that they can't spot. Like, let me give a good example. If someone is telling you to do something at work that's like impossible and you're trying to explain why it's impossible, the alternative to just digging your heels in and being like, I can't do that, is to ask them, how can I do that? And then make them answer the question for you.
Okay.
So it's tools like that. It's just a way, like if someone isn't paying you and you're trying to get them to pay you for a service that you've rendered, the tactic is to be like, you're not the type of person that doesn't pay your bills. Like, you tell them who they're not so that they want to relate to that.
It sounds a little bit like manipulation.
It is. It absolutely is, which, I have some guilt around stuff like that. But I'm also re-listening to Thinking Fast and Slow.
What's that?
It's a psychology book about how people have two different sets of responses, how our fast, more amygdala-driven brain, the one that kind of reacts off emotion and off intensity immediately, is like our first fast brain. And then the thinking brain is the slow brain, which is the one that you want people to be using because it's like the rational, non-emotional comprehension. So when you see people arguing online and they're saying really crazy shit and they're just flying off the handle, that's them in their first fast brain operating from the amygdala. And you want them to, use some people don't have very good access to their slow brain.
It sounds like the fast brain is the bad part of your brain.
Yeah, it definitely can be. It's the instinctual part that protects us, but it's also the part that makes people like jump at each other's throats.
Okay. I've heard that like different parts of our brain evolved at different times, and the amygdala is like an older piece of our brain? Is that correct?
It's the lizard part.
It's the lizard part.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what, like the prefrontal cortex or whatever?
That's the thinking part, the slow thinking part.
So that's the slow thinking part. That's the more logical, reasonable thing. Okay, gotcha. And that like evolved more recently.
Definitely.
Okay.
From my understanding, that's the part that evolved once we figured out how, like once fire was invented and we started cooking our food and our stomachs didn't need to be so big to digest raw meat, then our brains grew bigger. The prefrontal cortex grew bigger.
Once we were cooking meat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So don't eat raw meat.
Yeah.
There are people that, I don't know how popular it is now, but there's like the Liver King and like all those guys online that were just like, you got to eat raw meat all the time. That's like, so those guys are dumb.
Those guys are grifters who are actually taking steroids and then acting like they're eating liver.
Yeah,
and they're on gear.
That's true. They're not eating as much. That's how you get canceled, as being like a raw meat guy. Is like people find out that you're not eating as much raw meat as you say you are. Hey, that's cooked. They're looking at the video. That looks a little bit cooked, actually.
It's just so funny to find out. I mean, whatever. If you're going to be on gear, you're going to be on all kinds of like, I don't know what the different names of the growth hormones and steroids that people take are, but it's like they do that and then they go, look at my ripped ass body, it's just from doing this thing, and then they try to sell you a $10,000 online course and they're not even doing what they're saying they're doing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I would like to be ripped one day. I don't know how feasible it is anymore for me to be ripped.
Why?
I think as I get older, it takes way more exercise. Well, actually, I don't know if that's true, actually. I think when I was younger, I had more time to work out and stuff, or even when you're in like college or high school, it's a part of your life because maybe you play sports or something. Right. And then as an adult, like there's other priorities that I have. Like I do have a theory that people get into really good shape when other things in their life aren't going very well. Like after a breakup, you get in really good shape. You get laid off. You have too much time in your hands. Prison. You have nothing else to do. I think it is also like a priority thing as well. But I would like to be ripped. I will be ripped.
There you go.
Next time I do this podcast, you're gonna have a playlist on YouTube. It's like Milan Patel, and like one episode's now, and then one episode's like a year from now, and I'm just like, I just focused on my neck. I got a really big neck.
You look like the Liver King next time you're here.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think he kind of looks cool. He kind of looks like Macho Man Randy Savage or whatever.
You're not wrong there.
Yeah, I mean he looks insane, but
yeah. Do you do anything to work out?
I go to I ran a half marathon recently.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, it was my first time doing it. So it was fun to like do a new thing, I guess, but I think running's kind of boring. Like running that much is boring, so I probably won't do I'll never do like a full marathon. Cuz I don't think it's just not interesting to me. But I also think like running even like 12 miles is pretty boring, so I don't know if I'll ever do a half marathon again, but I'm going to try to swim more cuz it's summer and there's a lot of good pools in LA and I want to I don't know. I think that's like a better exercise as you get older, is to swim. Do you do anything?
I do. I actually work out like a bodybuilder, which you can't tell by my physique. Well,
but that's how you work out.
That's how I work out. Yeah. So I'm pretty negligent with cardio, which it sounds like you're on top of your cardio, which is great.
Yeah.
I just lift, and I've gotten very obsessive with pull-ups over the last like 6 months or so.
That's fun. I couldn't, after a certain point, I couldn't get past a certain number of pull-ups that I was doing. Do you have, would you say out loud how many pull-ups you do?
Yeah, I just got to 11.
That's really good.
Thanks.
Damn. That's so hard to get from like past 10, I think.
Yeah. I was stuck at 7 for like a couple of months.
Yeah.
And then I asked for help and people were telling me to do weighted pull-ups, and I started doing holding like even a 5-10 pound dumbbell in between my legs and like doing it weighted, and then I was able to get to 11. I can't do 11 every day.
Yeah.
Like it's only when I'm having like a really great day physically I can get to it. Just yesterday for the first time I tried doing a weighted pull-up with 15 pounds and I could barely do 2, and I was like, damn, that's really hard.
Yeah, it's so weird with pull-ups. It's so weird how different it is day to day, how many you can do.
Yeah.
And then it kind of fucks with your self-esteem a little bit.
So
you're
much.
Like, man, I thought I was really strong. I did like, I did like 11 last time. And then you're like, I can only do 6. You're like, did I well? And you think like something like, is my body like corroding from the inside out? Like I start getting paranoid that like I have a disease or something just because I can't do. But you're probably, whatever. It's like your body just doesn't have enough juice.
Yeah.
I have a goal. I have kind of a secret goal where I want to go to the Santa Monica Pier, and there's like a guy. There's like a booth set up where you can hang from the bar, and you have to do it for 3 minutes.
Whoa.
Have you ever seen this before?
No, I haven't.
So, and usually there's like a big crowd forms around whoever's doing it, and nobody does it, But I want to be the first guy. Or like I want to be a guy who can do. I think it's like a 3-minute hang or something like that.
That would be so hard.
Yeah, I know. But that's after the half marathon. That's my new goal. Is I want to hang for a really long time.
That's a really good goal, though.
Because I bet that it would feel so good to have all those people crowded around you. And I want to like make it seem like I've never done it before. Mm-hmm. Like I want to be like, oh, I don't know, I've never done this before. And then like my fantasy is that I would go up and I'll do it for like 15 seconds and then I'll fall and everybody will be like, and I'll be like, no, wait, I can do it again. And then I do the full 3 minutes.
What is that? Because I have that fantasy too, that someone's going to stop me in the street and be like, I bet you can't do any pull-ups. And then I'm going to like bust out 10 and they're going to be like, what?
It's like the fantasy of like secretly being really strong.
Yeah, that's so real.
Yeah. There's something about that where you're more than what you appear to be. There's something about that, yeah.
I've had that fantasy too with having taken a couple different like fighting classes.
Yeah,
like there was an era where I took jujitsu classes and then I was like, someone attack me in the street so I can show off my skills.
Yeah, because otherwise you're like, this is just practice. I need to use this in the real world. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're just hoping that you get attacked. You're hanging out in areas that you shouldn't be hanging out in. You're hanging out near empty lots at like midnight. You have like a lollipop, a propeller hat. You're like, hope my mom picks me up soon. I've been here for 3 hours with $300 in my pocket. So I did martial arts when I was like a kid, and I don't talk about it because I don't want people to be like, oh, I'm gonna fight him when I see him. So I like never tell people that, but it was like a self-defense focused martial art. Like it was essentially like doing mixed martial arts because it was very much self-defense focused. Mm-hmm. And so this particular like martial art was formed in like the 1950s in Hawaii, and it was like for like people who lived there to actually like be able to defend themselves because it was like the streets were like very rough there. So the I don't know if this is true, but I was told that like in order to get your black belt or something like that, when you like achieved a high enough rank, they would send you to the worst part of town, and then you would have $100 bill hanging out of your pocket.
That's dark.
And then you would have to like defend yourself because like you would inevitably get jumped. I don't know if this is true. This is just like stuff that people said, but
that's so funny. And they really were the ones like going around telling people like, hey, that guy's got $100 bill, go after him. Setting you up.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, I heard a guy's got a guy with $100 is coming soon. Everybody's like, okay.
In this economy, they're like, that's not even enough money.
Yeah, right. Nowadays, it would be like, okay, I don't care.
Yeah.
I have more than that in Bitcoin right now.
I don't understand crypto. Do you?
No, not really. I tried to like watch a bunch of YouTube videos once and to understand it. Anything with money, I get obsessively interested in learning it, and then it takes me hours and hours of like rewatching the same video, and then even after that, I'll still pretty much wouldn't be able to explain it to anybody. I got really obsessed with like understanding the 2008 financial crisis, and I kind of have an understanding of it. Like I probably wouldn't, if you asked me right now to explain it, I would do a really bad job, but it took me like hundreds of hours of like researching it just to have like a little tiny understanding of it. But no, to answer your question, I don't understand Bitcoin.
I know, I kind of don't either, and I really don't understand digital wallets. That's like a very confusing thing to me.
Yeah. Like in the sense of like digital wallets where people keep their crypto, like stored online or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how is this a thing?
I don't understand that, but our like actual money, in my opinion, is kind of like digital at this point anyway.
That's true.
They say it's like backed by cash, but I don't think it is. I think like people just play around with, I think banks just like play around with your money. I mean, that's the whole point of them keeping it, is so they can like do what they want with it, and then they're insured. So I don't really understand digital like currency at all, but I do feel like anything I have in a bank account is already digital currency. Like I think like tomorrow it could go to zero and I'd have no recourse of like anything to do.
There's no room with $20 stacks.
Yeah, that's exactly. I don't think so. Yeah. Which is why everyone needs to invest in gold.
My dad invests in gold.
Yeah.
I always make fun of him.
Well, he might be right. I don't know.
I do a joke about how I feel like that's just old people's crypto.
Yeah. Did your dad or like anybody in your family have like jars of coins growing up in your house?
Yeah, we definitely had one for a while.
We had like obviously empty, like not empty, but like obviously like different kinds of like nickels and quarters and pennies and stuff. But my dad had like jars of like 50-cent coins.
I've never seen a 50-cent coin.
Yeah, I mean, they don't make them anymore, but he had like not a lot, but he had like a couple like containers of 50-cent coins, and I don't know why. I mean, obviously as a savings or something, but I don't know why they were in that format of like a dead currency. It's like having like a like,
$2 bill.
Exactly, it's like having stacks of like $2 bills, which I hate. I hate $2 bills. I was working at my mom's motel for a while, and a guy, I was just like pissed off because I wanted to be doing comedy, but I was like working, it was like after college, and so I was just in a shitty mood all the time, and he came in trying to pay to like use the phone with a $2 bill, and I was like, no, I'm not taking it. He was like, it's legal tender, you have to take this. I'm like, no, I don't have to take it. I was just like being such a dick, and I didn't take his $2 bill. I'm not saying I'm proud of myself for that, but it's just a story.
People that had, I'll say this, and this is a generalization, but I feel like everyone I've met that's shown up with a $2 bill has been like a huge weirdo.
Well, yeah. It's a weird format of currency. There is a strip club in Portland that has they only give their ATM only gives out $2 bills, which I think is smart, or it's cool to the dancers. You know what I mean?
Unless it's not cool to the dancers, because then everyone in town knows that like, the women with the $2 bills are dancers.
Oh yeah, that's true. When they go to the Bank of America or whatever, they're like
to deposit their twos, like, okay, I know what you do.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that there's anything shameful about.
That's true. Maybe this
guy
that I refused was also a dancer. He was like, you don't support sex work? I'm like, I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Have you ever been to what is it? What's that ridiculous one here? Jumbo's Clown Room?
I don't think I've been to any strip clubs in LA. No, I have not been to Jumbo's Clown Room, but I think that one's a little bit more tasteful, I've heard, than...
Yeah, I suppose you could use that word. I mean, they don't get fully nude.
They don't get fully nude. When I think of tasteful, I think of like, it's like in Portland, it's like there's so many of them, and the culture is like, a lot of times like couples will go there. So if you walk into it, or it's not just a bunch of like horny dudes, like sometimes it'll be a thing that people go do as a friend group or as a couple or something like that. So that's how
Jumbo's is, I would say. I've only been there with like groups of girlfriends.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I have not been to any in LA since I have no interest in those anymore. I don't have any interest. I don't drink. Like I don't want to be in like a dark room. I just don't like dark rooms, to be honest. More than anything.
Besides comedy.
I can deal with comedy. I guess you're right. Yeah, that's my seedy nightlife that I'm interested in still. But like places that yeah, like bars and like pool halls. Not that I go to pool halls all the time, but you know what I mean? I'm making it sound like I at some point in my life I was really into the underworld.
Yeah, really?
But no. I like
back when you were fighting people.
when I was an underground bare knuckle boxer. I was the fighter that always had a bunch of bills coming out of my clothes. I had a bunch of $2 bills coming out of my clothes.
You're like, I'm done with that life now. Nobody's gonna know about it.
No one's gonna know about it. Yeah. But yes, I like the part of town. Well, maybe we shouldn't say the part of town that you live in, but
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm in Marina.
I like Marina Del Rey. I haven't been here in a minute, but it's nice. I went to it's obviously not here, but I went to El Segundo. There's a beach down there. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it's a really
El Porto?
nice. Huh?
El Porto?
I don't think it's El Porto. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it, but there's fire pits everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's the Dockweiler's.
Dockweiler. I went there, and that was my first time there since moving to LA, and it's very cool. You have to get there really early to get like a fire pit, but if you do get one, it's very nice once the sun sets.
That's on my bucket list. I haven't been able to get one of those yet.
Yeah, people go there at like 6 a.m.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere at 6 a.m.
No.
So I guess I'll never get a fire pit.
No,
there.
you will, because we went really late, and then we just waited for somebody to be done. Because people think they're gonna be there all night, and then I think what happens is they do get there like really early in the morning. They save their spot, or somebody's saving their spot, and then by that time you've been there for like 12 hours, and I don't think people want to be there for that much longer.
Yeah.
So they overestimate how interested they're gonna be in the beach experience. But I do like Marina Del Rey. It's a nice area.
It is. It's very quiet.
Yeah.
It's not super touristy, which I appreciate, and it's very walkable. Like, I'm a big walking person.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. There's what kind of stuff do you like to walk to?
I mostly do the same loop around a couple of the basins here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. So like by the water and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So if you cross without giving away where I am. If you just like cross behind my building, you're on the marina.
Yeah.
And so I'll just do like it ends up being about 7,000 steps, and it takes me like an hour.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, people like run and like bike and stuff. Like around
right
this
back
area.
here.
It's nice, yeah.
The other day I was doing that walk, and I always have headphones in just because it's part of, I'm not going to do a long walk in silence. So I'm generally listening to music, and it's like very apparent that I have headphones on. And I was doing the walk, and I got to the place where I usually turn around. I turned around and I'm walking back, and this older man, I can tell he's like saying something to me. And so I gesture like that I can't hear him, and I take my headphone out thinking that he has like something, because he's still trying to get his message out to me. And I take my headphone out, and he goes, "Wow, you're so lazy. You don't even walk all the way around." And I was like, I took my headphone out for that.
God. That's so annoying.
Yeah, also you can't go all the way around. It's a marina. It opens in the ocean. There is no all the way around. You literally can't.
What is the instinct of these people to like, what is it, like a negging? They're like negging you or something like that? I
guess so. And it was because he was truly like a senior citizen that I just didn't have any kind of reaction to it.
That's true. Older people do that a lot, I guess. But it's older guys, older gentlemen.
And I allowed them to get away with it because it's an age thing.
Yeah.
But if it was someone around my age, I would have been like, I took my headphone out for that. Like, I would have given
You would
him
have given
lip.
some sass, yeah.
For sure.
That's true. You can get you can get away with a lot once you're an older man. You can be a horny little creep.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait. I can ruin a young woman's day. I can ruin her peaceful walk.
Yeah, it's amazing how much they get away with, because it was like definitely post Harvey Weinstein, Me Too stuff. I was pulling into the garage that's no longer there, that used to be by West Side Comedy Theater, and there was an old man like working the parking garage, and he goes, "Can I see a smile?" And it's like, oh, you're so lucky that you're 80 and saying that to me.
That's true. Yeah, and it's like, you're not allowed to say that anymore. They get away with it because they're old. It's like, but you were here. You saw the news. You were watching. You're aware of what's going on.
I know you were up at 5 a.m. with your porridge watching the news.
Your porridge. That's what old people eat. Damn, I ate oatmeal today. It was pretty good. That's what I eat now for breakfast. Yeah, I used to eat like instant oatmeal when I was a kid, and I just like eat it every day because it's easy to make, and I like got sick of it, and it's like fake. All the you know what I mean, like the Quaker.
Yeah.
And it has like the
There's
apple,
barely
cinnamon.
any nutrition.
There's no nutrition. So I just assumed the oatmeal was terrible for you, but now it's like on Instagram and like it's like now it's like all these recipes where it's like it's actually healthy for you, and you're like, I thought carbs were like bad for me, but it's like no, it has fiber. But I had some porridge today. It was good.
Nice. Are you pretty conscientious with your eating?
No, not as much as I should be. I was for a minute, but I'm vegetarian, so like that helps with certain things, but you can still eat pretty bad if you're a vegetarian.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't like fix your diet or anything like that. I'm trying to cook more. I've been eating out way too much.
I'm curious what I always like to ask vegetarian and vegan friends what their sources of protein are, if that's something that you're like really going out of your way to get.
Yeah, I do have to go out of my way. I mean, I eat tofu, obviously. I eat like dal, like whatever, like Indian food. What else do I eat? I try not to eat the fake meat because I know it's bad for you, but I'll eat like soy rizo a lot because
soy rizo is awesome.
I think soy rizo is really good, and I try to get the kinds that don't have too much like garbage in the ingredients, and some of it's I think way better for you than like Beyond Meat or whatever. So I'll eat that, and then that's kind of it. I don't have like much more like sources for protein than that. I think I might try to like drink like shakes, like protein shakes and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get it that way.
Yeah,
for sure.
Get it that way.
It's either that or eat a lot of like
eggs.
Soy. Oh yeah,
I eat eggs. Yeah,
that's good. I eat so many eggs. I eat like the same thing every day though. It's kind of boring.
Yeah, what do you eat every day?
This is very Soviet of me, but I start every morning with kefir.
Okay. Wait, what's kefir? Is that yogurt?
It's like if milk and yogurt and something sour had a baby. It's like a cultured drink.
Oh yeah, I know what that
is. It's very probiotic-y.
Yeah, it's like it comes in like a red bottle or like a can.
Sometimes. Okay. It's mostly I get it in these like white bottles, like I think they're half liters or whatever, and it's a huge source of protein. So in 1 cup you can get 10 grams of protein and get all your probiotics, and I'll have that first, and then I have 3 eggs, and then I usually have like a poke bowl or something, or like a yogurt, like a lot of dairies going in.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then I do eat like chicken, and I don't eat beef, but I eat bison.
Bison, nice. Is that good?
It's amazing.
I heard bison burgers are good. People make those.
I should make the burgers. I kind of make it as if it's like ragu.
Oh,
I buy it ground, and then I'll put like either taco seasoning into it, or I'll put just a little bit of seasoning and like garlic and onion, and then make like a ragu.
Damn, that's cool. Do you use every part of the bison?
No. It's like a little bit. It's definitely cleaner than beef, and beef hurts my stomach. I haven't eaten beef in like over a decade.
Oh, okay. Dang. Well, bison. That's where it's at.
Yeah, it's part of me trying to be a big gym bro. So.
Yeah. 3 eggs and bison.
Yeah, trying to dethrone the Liver King.
Yeah. Good for you.
I'm just trying to turn into a fitness grifter eventually. I'm just using comedy to parlay the real career that I want.
Yeah, I was gonna say like this would be a great in for that. Is you just you sneakily like put in some your health tips into this podcast, and then eventually people are like, oh wow, actually like I kind of trust her regarding my health and fitness. And you have all these manipulation books.
That's right. Wait, don't tell them.
Oh yeah, that kind of ruins the grift. Yeah. I'm manipulating you.
Cut that, editor that I don't have.
I love making up fake people that work for you. That don't do it. Yeah, I'll tell my marketing team.
Monty's
Hi,
my
Mom.
marketing
Can
team.
you post this for me? I don't even know how to post on Instagram. Mom.
Your and Sam's show, do you guys do everything yourselves for it, editing and all that?
No, our friend Hartball edits clips for us, and sometimes edits the episodes for us if we can't. He was started helping us because I was working a lot. I was doing like 2 editing jobs at the same time, and so I couldn't like focus on editing our own stuff. But now I do it a little bit, and then he helps a little bit with like clips and stuff. So it's mostly the 2 of us, but yeah, Hartball helps too.
Have you guys talked about this massive divorce fight between Elon and Trump?
No, because we haven't recorded in like 2 weeks, and like the world changed so drastically in the last 2 weeks. Like that happened, and then like a bunch of other things as well. But it's pretty funny. I mean, I kind of, it was probably inevitable, but it does show you like how fragile like human beings are, that you think they're kind of like conspiratorial, or like that there's some master plan of how they're constructing the world, and you're like, oh no, they're idiots. They're stupid like me. Which I think we kind of probably knew, but
yeah, I think everyone saw the rift between them coming, but now I understand. I think Elon's trying to walk it back and being like, oh, I shouldn't have been so mean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the latest thing I saw. But it's like the news cycle moves so fast these days, like you were saying, that it's like, oh, 1 week it's this, and if I publish this 3 days after we're talking, it's like it could be a whole different thing.
Yeah, that's true. I've noticed that like reading we our podcast is called Perfect Politics. We talk about like the news and stuff, and because we're doing this podcast, I start reading the news a lot more than I used to, and I have realized that the news just has to publish stuff because that's their business model, and so you do have to like it's okay to wait a couple weeks before you talk about what's going on in the world, because you'll get more information about a news story, or you'll kind of have some perspective on what's actually relevant or what's not relevant. But then some people do really good news articles where it's like actually investigative journalism, where they're like, oh, I've been researching this one topic for like 6 months or a year or however long, and then they go into like a detailed analysis of it, and it's not really current events anymore. It's more just like a study of something that happened. I kind of like those more, to be honest. I think those are more interesting. They stick with you a little bit longer.
That's so true. I'm watching I just started it yesterday. I have like half of it to go, but they made an Ocean Gate documentary on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Is it good?
So far, so good, but I knew they would do a lot of stuff that wasn't necessarily relevant. I mean, I guess it's relevant to the accident, but they talk about all the other stuff that Stockton was involved in, and just different, like the fascination around the Titanic and all that. So there's a lot in there that doesn't have to do with the accident directly, I think, because they just need X amount of B-roll to get a documentary done.
Yeah, because it's like, what's the story? I mean, the story is they made a shitty submarine, and then people paid to go on it, and then it crashed.
Yeah,
they died. But like, yeah, they do have to like package it with a lot of other stuff. That is tough with documentaries when there's like all this filler, and you're like, oh, you just kind of made this because this one viral or like meme kind of thing happened in the news, and like there's not. But then there's other stuff like was the Elizabeth Holmes, like the
oh yeah, all the bbad blood stuff.
Yeah, like that's like pretty dense. Like it's packed in, and you actually learn it. Like, oh, it goes deeper than you think it's gonna go. Those are better documentaries. Like the Jinx. You ever watch that?
Yeah.
Like the Jinx, it just gets deeper and deeper. I actually didn't watch too much of the sequel, but even that is pretty good. Like it goes into more. It doesn't feel like filler. It's like actually like events happening over time. I feel like that's what you need to make a good I just rewatched The Last Dance, the Chicago Bulls documentary. Do you ever watch that?
I haven't.
It's good, but it's really good just because it's dense. Like they're packing in like the entire like however many years of that team like forming together into like 10 episodes, and so it works out pretty good.
Would you learn in there that you're like, oh, this will stick with me?
I feel bad for like athletes. I think they get like a raw deal. I don't think they get paid enough. That's my takeaway.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, I don't think they get paid enough. I think like GMs and managers and coaches are like probably overpaid, and they do way less in order to like like there's people that are making like so much money off of like sports franchises, and like percentage wise the players have, you know, like what 90% to do with what's interesting about sports, but they get paid way less, or like are usually generally underpaid for their performance, I think. And like celebrities of any sort, they have to bear the brunt of like all the public the public eye and all the pressure and stuff, and the coaches don't really have to do that. They just get fired or moved around or whatever. But they might have pride and be like, oh, like my team lost and it's my fault. But it's like nobody's, I mean, generally the players get way more hate from the fans and stuff than coaches or GMs do, I think.
That's a really good point. Plus the coaches have the upper hand as far as longevity, because you can be a coach from a wheelchair in your 70s.
Yeah, and most of them are old white guys too.
Yeah.
So and a lot of them were bad at sports, or like they were pros, but they weren't that great at what they were doing, and they got like filtered into the system to. This is that part of it I might be wrong about, but I'm kind of just making that up. But yeah.
But they can work and make their high salaries for decades.
They'll have good lives.
Yeah.
Yes, they'll have good lives. Like they'll be able to take care of their family. They'll have like beautiful homes and like be able to send their kids to college. And like a lot of players, once they get injured or whatever, like that's the end of their money. Like they don't make any more money, and like they get like when you're a player, you get all this money when you're so young that you have no idea how to manage your finances or anything, and a lot of times nobody teaches you how to do that, so you just blow all your money anyway, or you end up having to like give it to your family if especially if you come from a place where like you don't have a lot of money, so you just like you never really get to like be rich. You just look like you're rich.
Yeah.
And people just think you're rich for a little bit.
It's true. And then if you're not one of the absolute top kind of household name athletes, you probably don't have that many opportunities once you're past the point where you can play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's tough. I didn't think about that too much, but I do always have this curiosity around what do people do for a living who were reality stars like 20 years ago or had a one-hit wonder in the 90s? Like, how do you get that taste of fame and of actually living your dream, and then all of a sudden it gets taken away and you have to go get a normal job? I feel like that's way harder than the alternative of having a job that you don't want and kind of working up to your aspirations.
I agree. Yeah. Like, did you watch the Olympics?
A little bit.
They would do interviews with like, you know, the different athletes and like swimmers or whatever. There was one interview with a swimmer. He's like, yeah, I'm an accountant. Like I was, this is my last chance to like swim in the Olympics, and then after that, I'm done. Like I have to go back to accounting. You're like, oh, that's so sad.
That
and
sucks.
he's like he's buff. He's huge. He's in like amazing shape, but he's just like he has like little glasses, and he's like hunched over. He probably has like a bad back. Like if it wasn't for the swimming, like he would be like in such terrible shape. He would have like scoliosis. So I do feel bad for those people too, because you're like, I mean, granted, you probably, I don't know, swimming is like a side hustle. It's not. I mean, I know it's a sport, and I know it's like incredibly difficult, but it's you know, it's not like baseball or basketball where it's like a franchise thing that people care about.
Right. It's not. It doesn't have that entertainment game factor. Yeah. That it's like sport versus game, right? Where it's like. Mm-hmm. It's just a sport. And I did recently hear that a lot of Olympic athletes like make no money.
Yeah, no, they don't make any money. Yeah.
And the amount that you have to sink into training, it's like to be that good at anything that's an Olympic sport, you probably started as a small child.
Yeah.
Your family's probably sunk their whole life savings into getting you to a certain point, and then just for you to end up like hoping that there's so many gold medalists that don't even get like a Wheaties cereal box cover. Like nothing happens for them, you know?
Then you think about that and you're like, how much money is that?
Yeah.
Like how much income is one like a box or like whatever. I know what you mean. It's like one deal, like promotional deal or whatever. So yeah. I mean, like I feel yeah, I feel bad for them too, I guess. I feel less bad about Olympic athletes because I'm like, this is just a hobby, right? Kind of. This is just like a hobby that you're amazing at. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's a lot of them just have regular jobs.
Most of them don't make. I'm sure if you're Simone Biles and you're a household name, you're fine financially, probably for however long. Like she's able to just keep going with it and keep being
and maybe
a public figure.
Yeah, and maybe she can like become a coach or like stay in the world because she has such a like high status that she'll be a part of gymnastics forever.
Yeah, but it's like who's the number one shot putter or something. It's like I don't know.
That's true, and we should learn their names.
We should. That's on me. I'm sorry.
We should learn who is the number one discus thrower in America.
But even pole vaulting or I guess track. People know track, but like the other girls in the baton race or the other men in the baton race who aren't. It's just there's so many people that make up the Olympics. There's no way. I'm sure 95% of them don't really have name or face recognition.
Yeah, I wonder. There's like that break dancer that everybody thought was funny.
Oh yeah,
Top Gun or
Ray Gun.
Or like those like shooters like it's almost like you have to be weird now.
You have to be a meme.
Yeah, you have to be a meme. And so now like I think Olympic athletes are gonna just start coming in like peacocking and wearing weird outfits, and they'll be like, whoa, I'm the guy, I'm the overweight I'm the overweight javelin thrower. And everyone's like, whoa, okay, that's kind of interesting. They have kind of a cool hat that they wear or something.
You're so right, because then the guy in the shooting contest that everybody remembered was the one that turned into the meme who like wasn't in the right pose and looked so casual doing everything.
I think it's all planned.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like that. I bet he uses all the equipment usually. I bet he had to train so hard to like not use all that equipment just so that he could like look cool.
Oh, I love that kind of stuff. Do you have any conspiracies that you buy into?
Conspiracies? Not off the top of my head. I do have some, but I can't think of what they are. Yeah, do you have any?
I don't think there's too many that I think are necessarily real, but I think some are definitely good entertainment factor. Like birds aren't real is fucking hilarious to me.
That's funny, yeah.
But it's meant to be a joke.
That's what I've heard. What's the reasoning behind that? What's the conspiracy reasoning behind that?
That every single bird is just a spyware.
Oh, right. Like it's like a robot or something?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Which birds have that like creepy element to them, so that's a fun one. I just learned of one. My roommate's into them, so I catch wind of them because of her. But she showed me one the other day that was during the Elon Trump fight last week, during the Twitter fight. So Elon had a bruise on his eye.
Yeah.
And she was showing me there's this whole conspiracy theory behind people having all these bruises next to their eyes. I forget what it was, but it was like that means that they got scooped up by some kind of Illuminati and they got injected with something, and that's why they have bruising around their eyes.
Oh,
and
that's
it was
funny.
Like pictures of when Biden had a bruise on his eye and all these different celebrities having bruises on their eyes, and it's supposed to like tie into Epstein somehow, but I don't know the connection.
Yeah, they're always connected to Epstein at the end.
All roads lead to Epstein.
Yeah, the birds, those are Epstein's birds or whatever. He makes them on his island, or he made them. That bruise thing is pretty good though, because it does look. You have to find something that like looks a little weird that people might like, because that is weird. Like he showed, like it's already weird what he's doing, and so then all you have to do is find another guy with a bruise. You're like, this is pretty weird too, right? And then all you have to do is keep finding those people, and then you can just show people that it goes deeper and deeper or whatever. They are fun. Yeah, you're right.
I tried to fight back on that one. I was like, well, people get bruised pretty easily. And then I was like, what am I saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they do. Like, I rarely see people with black eyes unless they're using makeup or something to cover them.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one was kind of weird. I could believe that his son hit him. but I think it's possible that it was something else too. It could also just be something so embarrassing that it like might not even be something terrible like a fight. Like he just like slipped. He was on ketamine and he like slipped and fell and like hit his head on the counter or something.
Probably.
Right? And then everybody's like, no, he was like, he's getting beat up by Trump's cronies or something.
Occam's razor says you're probably right on the ketamine slip.
Ketamine. He was in a K-hole.
Yeah. His whole personality
the
is
guy
a
that's
K-hole.
on drugs all the time has a black eye. Is that really that hard to believe?
I kind of can't believe. I don't understand, Monty. so many things around him. Maybe you can speak to this since you're like a video game guy, but what was with the whole pretending to be good at video games, and then it came out that he was like hiring someone to make it look like he got the highest score in like what I've heard is a very difficult game?
Yeah, I don't know what the game is, but I like vaguely heard about this. Yeah, that seems like something a kid in high school who, like a rich kid in high school who wants friends would do.
Yes.
So like, you know, like I think a pretty normal kid would be like, oh man, I wish I was popular. Like I'll be like good at sports or something, or you know, I'll do something that the popular kids are doing. But like a really rich, nerdy kid is gonna find a hyper focused thing that he could get good at. Like he's like, I wish I could be in this niche of like gamer or whatever, which is all like because he's already a nerd.
Yeah.
But none of the nerds like him because and so he's trying to impress like this small sliver of society by being. I don't know what the game is, but whatever. Let's just say it's like Counter-Strike or something, like some shooter. And so he's like, okay, I'll pay somebody to like up my stats so that I can be a part of this friend group. That's my take on it.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Yeah.
That makes me feel empathy for a man that said empathy is the worst part of Western society.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, which is so crazy. It's like sometimes I forget the reason that I don't like these people, and then I remember it, and then I think, oh, that was a really good reason. Yeah, he straight up, when he was on Rogan, he was like, oh, the disease of the Western world is empathy. And it's like, oh, you said that? You said the quiet part out loud, didn't you?
Oh, that's wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really watch those. I think there was a period of time where I didn't know who he was even after he was very popular. So
how lucky.
Yeah, I know. Well, but you feel like you're not a part of the culture because you're like, I don't really know who this guy is. And now I'm kind of like, I should have just ignored it the whole time or something. Like, none of it mattered because it all led to this. But, some tech stuff, I do think I have a weird paradox where, like, I understand a lot of tech stuff and AI is like ruining society, but I also get very excited about the future and technology. So like I'll say Waymo, like the first time I went in a Waymo, it blew my mind. I thought it was really cool.
You didn't feel weird about it?
I didn't feel weird about it at all. I thought well, no, I mean I felt weird. I was like, whoa, I'm in a car without a driver. But if you look at it from the perspective of like when we were kids, if you had like told us like, oh, one day there's gonna be cars and like there's no driver, it's just like you'd be like, that's the coolest thing ever. So when I did it for the first time, I I thought it was cool.
Where'd you sit?
I sat in the passenger side. Yeah.
Did you feel compelled to like touch things on the driver's side?
I got used to it so quick. I would say I was like scared for about 2 minutes, and then 3 minutes into the ride, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Then like 3 minutes in, I was on my phone. I like didn't even like look up. I was just looking at my phone for the majority of the ride.
I'm afraid of Waymos. I haven't been in one yet, and I'm not ready.
Yeah, like I understand it's not the solution to society, like society's travel issues. Like we should have great public transportation and we shouldn't be investing in stuff that's like a distraction from that, but but I think it's cool that there's cars that where there's no driver. I feel like I'm a bad person for saying that, but it's true. I think it's cool.
It's definitely cool from a technological standpoint.
From a technological standpoint, it's crazy. Yeah.
I heard someone make a joke at an open mic recently about that, where it was like, oh, now I'm stuck behind traffic, like, and now I'm in traffic with nobody. Now there's more traffic because
that's true.
I'm waiting to take a left turn behind nobody.
Right. It's just like garbage on the road, basically. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know how big of a company that is either. Like, I don't know if Waymos are gonna like take over the world or anything. It might just be like a project, you know.
I wonder how far they're gonna take it though. Are we gonna have driverless buses, subways, planes? Like, how far is it gonna go?
Yeah, I think that's the idea. I think like people are hoping that again, I don't think it's a good solution because I think you should just have public transportation, but I think the idea is probably that everything's driverless so that traffic is better coordinated than if it would be with human drivers, or like the idea is that it would be safer because it's machines interacting with each other. I don't know if that's true, but
it should be true because so much of traffic is caused by the fact that people don't use the correct distance between like the car in front of them, and that they're breaking traffic laws, and it creates chaos for everybody. So like in theory, if it was all driverless, but then
we're assholes to each other.
We are assholes to each other,
which is fine. I mean, I'm used to it in LA, and like I can drive efficiently, and people are kind of nice sometimes too. It's not like everybody's an asshole. But yeah, I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
Oh, just that it takes away, it's another ownership thing. It's another asset that then people will have no reason to have, even though cars are depreciating assets. It's still like an ownership thing. If we're not driving and we don't own the Waymos, now we have to rent like another thing. It kind of, I guess, conspiratorially puts more power in the hands of tech company owners, and it kind of like siphons more resources to the top then, because now we don't even have cars.
I agree 100%, but I think it's cool that there's a car that there's just a piece of me that's always gonna think it's cool that when like a new piece of technology comes out. But I agree with you 100%. I think it's bad, and then it's like bad for Uber drivers, people who rely on their car as a source of income or whatever. There has to be like I think the idea is that there has to be systems in place to help those people that are being displaced by the technology too.
It's the kind of lowest ring jobs that are getting taken away by machines right now, which is so sad because it's people's kind of side hustles. Like robots are taking away Postmates jobs, and now they're taking away Uber driver jobs, which is crazy.
And there's no like effort being made to be like, oh, we have to give people jobs that are like beneficial to society, where they're not driving people around or like delivering them food.
Which I've done both, and it sucks.
Me too. It does suck. I agree with you. I'm not gonna defend the company of Waymo. I won't defend tech companies. I won't.
Stance made.
I won't.
How do you feel about them getting set on fire during the protest?
I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. I mean, I feel bad. I think the Waymo's like cute, so I think it's like I feel bad, but I don't actually feel bad. I think it's like it's probably better if it's a cop car, but at least it makes a statement. You know, it looks good on like it's a good image, I guess. If you view it through the right lens, if you view it through the wrong lens, then it's like you're kind of hurting the cause, I guess. But I'm fine with it. I'm okay with the Waymos being destroyed. I'm okay with what people are doing for the protest.
It's cool you're planning on going.
I would like to go tomorrow. It's like tomorrow's the national Saturday, I should say, is like the national day, right? So we'll see. I might even try to go today if I have more time today, because I think at City Hall things are just happening all the time. I'm only gonna stay out before curfew. I'm not gonna do the after curfew stuff. But I know people have been at City Hall and like in downtown like every day, and I'm sure it's like I know it's peaceful, and it's mostly just people who are trying to fight for the right things hanging out. So
that's the kind of thing that makes me love LA so much. Like, people talk so much shit about the city, and then you see the way that everybody gets together when they need to be together doing something bigger, like the way, if you remember, like after the fires, I was like trying to volunteer and I was getting turned away from places because there were too many volunteers. And it's similar to this now with the protests of like too many people are showing up to be like, hey, I don't support this. I want my voice to be part of a bigger movement. And it like gives me goosebumps.
It's good. Gives you a sense of community, I guess.
Yeah.
Like more so than even like a city pride, but it's more like global. Because when you live in a big city, you are it's already global because people are coming from all parts of the world anyway. And so you kind of feel like I don't know, like if there was like a globe, like there's like a heat map, it's like LA's like red right now because there's like activity going on or something. I don't know. But yeah, it makes you feel, it gives you a sense of I don't know, pride is the right word, but connection to other people, I guess, which is good.
That's so true.
And it gives you hope that people care about each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good.
That's a really good place to end it.
Cool. Thank you.
Of course.
Thanks
Milan Patel, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at Milan Patel _OK. My website, milanpatelcomedy.com. Watch my YouTube, my Netflix special on YouTube. If you go to like the Netflix is a joke page, you can just find my name. And follow me on Instagram.
Amazing. Thank you so much for doing the show.
Thank you.
And thank you everybody for listening. Bye.